Good morning, everybody. It's David Schlotthauer here, tracking Hurricane Helene. This morning, this is the first morning live stream I've done in a while, and that's because we have some new information to share with you right now on the latest true color visible satellite imagery here. This is the meso floater, showing us that the system continues to show signs of organization. We have now a partial formed eyewall. Doesn't look like it here, but there is definitely an eyewall trying to develop here on the western side of the circulation. We do have some drier air that is getting in the way of the system, which is why we see this clear slot that is being well illustrated on the visible satellite imagery. And there's probably just a little bit of southerly shear impacting the system, because when we look at the outflow, you can see that there is indeed very symmetrical outflow. That's not what we're looking for here. We know that's well established, but if we look underneath the hood, okay, you can see these cirrus clouds actually moving in like this, and that's a little bit of the wind shear that we are seeing underneath. Not enough to cause this to get disrupted at all, but it might be preventing an otherwise more explosive phase of development. But it is done pretty good nevertheless with this type of core structure with really intense convection. So that's a look at the system right now. If we take a look at the National Hurricane Center, we'll be looking at this first, and then we will be looking at our hurricane models and some live analysis on the system. And as we do take a look, let me go over to there. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So right now, winds are up to 80 miles an hour. There's many, and when I see that, I'm like, come on, it's not really 80. I think it's more like 75, but hey, they're the experts. It's definitely a hurricane by now at this point. It is moving to the north-northwest, so it is moving north as we speak, and it is not continuing towards the west. And boy, look at how large this tropical storm force wind field is right now. Pretty large for a tropical or for a low-grade Category 1 hurricane. And we already have, again, still hurricane warnings out for, say, the northeastern portion there of the Yucatan. We got hurricane warnings out, of course, for the Big Bend of Florida, and also for the peninsula, we have tropical storm warnings out. And then for western Cuba, tropical storm warnings at this given time. And again, winds are up to 80 miles an hour. This morning when I woke up, when I created this stream, winds were only at 70 miles an hour. So that's a jump of 10 miles an hour between an advisory. That's incredible. And so this does mark the higher end of intensification, but does not meet the definition of rapid intensification. Just actually, you know what? It does, because yesterday it was only at 40. Wasn't it at 40 miles an hour at this time yesterday? So that's a 40 mile an hour wind increase since this time yesterday. So actually this could, in theory, meet the definition of more quick strengthening to almost rapid intensification, in other words, which means it is now believable that this is going to even intensify even at a much faster rate. Once that inner core really gets well established, that eyewall closes up, this could really take off. This could become easily a Cat 4 hurricane, potentially as it moves into the Big Bend. And yes, my thumbnail does say Cat 4 hurricane, and I know a lot of you, there's probably going to be a lot of people on this stream saying, stop the clickbait. Honestly, I don't care. I really don't care. 5 miles an hour doesn't make a whole big difference at this time. If it's 125 or if it's 130, it doesn't matter at this point, because this is going to be a very serious hurricane, and possibly even a hurricane right here, because if you think about it, tropical storm here, major hurricane here, we're going to have a hurricane into southern Georgia perhaps, and that's what the thumbnail illustrates. Again, I don't make I don't like making clickbaity thumbnails, but based on my analysis, based on all the data that I've collected, I'm pretty confident right now that this will reach winds of 140 miles or 130 miles an hour at landfall. So this is strengthening up until landfall essentially now, and it's not going to weaken at all before landfall, like we saw with Francine. So 80 miles an hour right now is a big deal with this. All right, so very important key messages from the National Hurricane Center, and I've got to read this. I really do, and a lot of you are like, come on, David, just can you go through this a little faster? No, we're going to take our time because a lot of people yesterday really liked how I covered this really well, all right, with the live stream. 135 is Cat 4, David. That's 10 miles an hour, not... Did I say Cat 5? I'm sorry. I'm half asleep, you guys. I'm really half asleep. I didn't even sleep much last night again, so thank you for the correction, TRG. I'm in a Cat 4, not a Cat 5. I don't know what I was saying. So 130 miles an hour is what I'm predicting at a Category 4 hurricane. All right, that's my prediction. TRG, you probably also agree with my forecast. 125, maybe 130 miles an hour. All right. From the side note to that, key messages for Hurricane Helene. All right, this is the 10 o'clock advisory. Hurricane and tropical storm conditions are expected over the northeastern portions of the Yucatan. That's what we're seeing right now. But I really want to focus in on this right here from point number 2 all the way down to point number 4. All right, sorry if the wording is a little small. There's a lot of key messages in this update. Due to the large size of Helene, there is a danger of life-threatening storm surge along the entire west coast of Florida Peninsula and Florida Big Bend. The highest inundation of greater than 10 feet is expected along the Florida Big Bend coast. Residents in those areas should follow advice given by local officials and evacuate if told to do so. Damaging or devastating, the word devastating is not used very lightly. Devastating hurricane force winds are expected across portions of the northern Florida and southern Georgia where the core of Helene moves inland. Preparations to protect your life and property need to be completed by early Thursday, since tropical storm conditions are expected to begin within these areas on Thursday. Because of Helene's expected fast forward speed, damaging and life-threatening wind gusts are expected to penetrate well inland over portions of the southeastern United States, including in the higher terrain of the southern Appalachians. That's a big thing, folks. A tropical storm well inland. In northern Georgia, we're talking a tropical storm. Okay, that is pretty remarkable. And wait until I show you the rainfall totals on the Weather Prediction Center. They are really, really aggressive. All right. So yeah, that's what we read. And then key point number 4, Helene will bring heavy rainfall to portions of the Western Caribbean with potentially significant flooding across Western Cuba and the northeastern Yucatan Peninsula into early Thursday. Considerable and potentially life-threatening flash and urban flooding is expected across portions of the northwestern and northern Florida, the southeast, southern Appalachians, and the upper Tennessee Valley Wednesday through Friday. This includes the risk of landslides across the southern Appalachians, widespread minor to moderate river flooding, and isolated major river flooding is also possible. Okay, so that's the key messages. Now, looking at the most likely arrival time of tropical storm force winds, we are looking at a very likely chance. In fact, it is now expected that this whole area in the magenta purple shade color is indicating that there will be a 90 to 100% chance of tropical storm force winds. And those tropical storm force winds will arrive right around noon on Thursday and then Thursday night into southern Georgia. All right. Still a 70 to 80% chance of tropical storm force winds. Those probabilities for Thursday morning over Tampa Bay, St. Pete, Florida, but especially this Big Bend, including for Panama City, Florida, you might see an 80 to 90% chance of tropical storm force winds. Now, looking at the rainfall totals here on the, and this is a hurricane right now, not a tropical storm, so they do have to update this. So right now, rainfall totals over this portion of Georgia, as well as northwestern South Carolina, and including for western North Carolina, could have as much as 8 to 12 inches of rainfall with isolated amounts. Look at this. Look at this. Up to 16 inches. There's that little dark red dot right there. That is 16 inches of rainfall in that area. That is remarkable. And this is why, now what I'm about to show you, there's a little high risk of heavy rainfall in this area. In fact, if I keep that circled in, I bet you I just matched that whole area out. So right here is where there is a high risk for heavy rainfall. And as we go, actually, I was a little off by a teeny bit, but still not far off at all. There's a high risk there for northeastern Georgia, for northwestern South Carolina, for western and west southwestern in North Carolina under that high risk. Tallahassee, Montgomery, Birmingham are under slight risk. And of course, for Atlanta, you're under a moderate risk. Augusta, Georgia, you're under a moderate risk for heavy rainfall and flooding. All right, this needs to be taken really seriously, folks. All right, a high risk of heavy rainfall, that is a 70% chance that you will have life-threatening, catastrophic flooding, including the risk for landslides, mudslides, and rock slides as well. This also includes the slight risk for heavy rainfall for southeastern Missouri, southern Illinois, Indiana, and well across the Kentucky and Tennessee Valley. So this is a really big area. This is not your typical small like tropical or hurricane where it's going to be like a Debbie situation. Well, except Debbie brought a lot of rainfall. But this is going to be really, really big. This is the big one. This is the biggest one of the season, at least for a United States landfall. Beryl was certainly very impactful, but this could be even more impactful, or will be more impactful. So here's a look at the storm surge forecast. Again, still thinking about 10 to 15 feet of storm surge, but again, because they did raise the intensity a little bit, and I'm predicting now, again, not official by the NHC. I want to make it clear, not official by the NHC. I am predicting a 130 mile an hour hurricane, and based on this, there could be isolated areas of storm surge up to 18 feet in the Big Bend area. Carabel could see up to about a foot of storm surge, and then down here, say near Tampa Bay, well, not too far, a little further to the north there of Tampa Bay, could see up to 6 to 10 inches. Tampa Bay itself got downgraded a little bit, but still thinking about 5 to 8 feet of storm surge. That's almost up to 9 feet there, by the way. Okay, so pretty serious. Flamingo down here still expecting at least 3 to 5 feet-ish, and the Key West area, Florida, expecting at least 1 to 3 feet of storm surge with this hurricane as it moves northward. Therefore, there are storm surge warnings in effect. You need to take this seriously. If you are under a storm surge warning right now, you need to get prepared for evacuation orders by local officials and local authorities, all right? If you are in St. Pete, Sarasota, you're under a storm surge warning as well. All this pink and magenta color right here is showing you which areas are under storm surge warnings. And wow, that's a big area. The entire west coast here of Florida is under a storm surge warning. This is pretty remarkable. So wherever you are on the west coast, essentially of Florida, you are expecting storm surge-like conditions. And storm surge is nature's #1 killer with hurricanes, because on top of high tide, you could get storm surge here that's even higher than that, okay? So in this live stream, let me make sure we don't have, okay, they have not gotten into the center yet, so we will wait for that. So latest from NOAA Hurricane Hunter aircraft. So I want to read the discussion and highlight some key points, because I have not done this yet in my live streams, and I feel bad. We need to highlight some key points here. All right. Just kind of like, you know, when you take a test, you kind of have to find key points and take notes on those. It's kind of what we're doing here, right? Kind of a part of my education today of school, I guess. We're going to find some words in here. So Air Force, Reserve, and NOAA Hurricane Hunter aircraft have been investigating Helene, with each plane recently measuring peak flight level winds of 81 knots. That's pretty strong. 78 knots respectively. Helene has therefore become a hurricane with an estimated intensity of about 70 knots, so that's about 80 miles an hour. Dropsonde data also indicate that the pressure has fallen to about 979 millibars, so it is definitely falling in a hurry here. Radar data from Mexico and Cuba, as well as reconnaissance reports, indicate that Helene has formed a partial elliptical eyewall. This is a big one, and I'm actually going to use magenta on this one. Partial elliptical eyewall. Okay, that is what you do not want to see with a hurricane. When you have a partial elliptical eyewall, that actually allows the system to intensify at even a faster pace than what it has been doing over the last 12 hours. And it allows the pressure to fall even faster. Okay, Helene has turned north-northwestward at 330 degrees at 9 knots. So it is accelerating a little bit more, and that acceleration is expected today. So as we go and zoom down here, since we pretty much know the track forecast, that's not the uncertainty here at the moment. This seems pretty well set in stone at the given time. Now, this is a big one from the National Hurricane Center. Thank you for the $5 donation. First donation of the stream, so thank you all. Helene is expected to move through over an environment of relatively low wind shear, strong upper-level divergence, and sea surface temperatures. Look at this, folks. 31 Celsius. For the NHC to put that, that is pretty concerning. 29 to 31 Celsius. That's roughly about 87 to 89 to almost, about actually 86 to 88 to almost 89 degrees Fahrenheit. All right. Belen Neff. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for that $5 donation. Okay. So water temperatures are more than warm enough to support explosive intensification, all of which should foster additional strengthening. Rapid intensification indexes indicate a high chance of rapid intensification over the next 24 hours. And as a result, the NHC intensity forecast shows Helene becoming a major hurricane by Thursday morning. There is still some uncertainty on exactly how strong Helene will get, and upward adjustments to the forecast intensity could be required in subsequent advisories if Helene rapidly intensifies more than forecasted. All right, so that's important. Regardless, Helene is forecast to be a fairly large major hurricane when it reaches the Big Bend coast of Florida. As a result, storm surge, wind, rainfall impacts will likely extend well away from the center. So some of you, well, especially with Beryl, because Beryl was really compacted system, the small inner core wind field, right? This is a situation that you cannot focus on the exact center. You just can't. This is going to be a pretty large wind field. We have tropical storm force winds that are pretty large already. Those hurricane force winds are going to get much larger. And the fat side, remember the fat side to the right of the storm motion is usually on the eastern side. So when you think about a system going this way, the fat side is always going to be here, the strongest winds on that side. And unfortunately, that's where human beings live. That's where viewers like you live, on the Florida coast. Okay. In addition, the fast forward speed while Helene crosses the coast will likely result in further inland penetration of strong winds over parts of the southeastern United States after landfall, including strong gusts of higher terrain of the southern Appalachians. All right. So there is nothing that says here that this is not going to become a major hurricane. This is indeed going to become one, and it's unfortunate. This is reality, folks. This is that we are still in the hurricane season, and we have to deal with this. The only thing we can do is make sure you all are prepared, because right now, this is going to be strong, essentially. Okay, this is going to be strong. This is going to be a big deal. So how's everybody doing? I hope you all are enjoying the live coverage here. As we do take a look at our live analysis, definitely a big eye on this. Look how big this eye actually is. And we'll see if it tries to wrap all the way around, see if this gets a little narrower. But this looks pretty organized. Definitely an organized system, to say the least. And when we look at the cloud pattern, yeah, really, really intense by all means. And when we look at our visible, that's what it looks like. And of course, our blue, you can look at different settings here. I like this one because it gives us a contrast on what our cloud tops are doing. And they are pretty cold right now, negative 115 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And the center is right here right now, so it's a little asymmetrical because, again, we have this ribbon of drier air that has moved in, and that was well simulated on our models. Okay, so let's see what the Recon mission finds now, and I am keeping tabs on their passes here, so I wanted to show you all what I've made, a little document showing this. I know this is probably hard to read because it's zoomed out, but their first pass found extrapolated pressure of about, or estimated pressure of about 981. It has dropped recently almost by 2 millibars, and winds they have found are 75 miles an hour. This is based on SFMR winds, not flight level winds based, okay? So we'll see with what they find on their next pass, okay, if they find stronger winds or not, and if they find lower pressure, okay. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like the list a lot. I'm really glad. So, yeah, I'm keeping tabs on this very carefully, very carefully. So let's take a look at and actually the pressure has not dropped actually any more. Interesting. I'm using extrapolated pressure though. Dropsonde pressure, I mean, is saying otherwise. Because if you go to the public advisory, they're at 979, 978-ish right now. So that Dropsonde data may not be 100%. It's got to be super accurate. Maybe off just by a little bit. But we'll see with what their next pass shows once they get in there. Because they're going to go way out here probably and then fly back in. So it's going to be a little while. Until that happens, though, let's look at our latest hurricane models. Because those are going to be coming in pretty soon, actually. So this is what it's showing as of the 18Z run. This is showing pressures down to 976 millibars. So this is pretty much right on par with what we are expecting. Right now it's about 978, 979. So it's close, really close. And we still have at least 3 more hours for this to verify. As we go forward, though, the system really tries to intensify at a pretty quick rate. Now, these two models are really underdoing it. The HMON and HWRF, if we look at the HAVS A model, did pretty good at initializing this and assuming right now that the pressure, yeah, look at it, pressure is 986 on this and it's 979. So it's actually stronger. We do have a hurricane. So this is definitely all the hurricane models as of the 15Z time frame, which is right about in here, did not capture this as well. Okay, so as we go forward, this really intensifies, and it's going to be crucial. Does it look like this by Thursday morning on the HAVS A? Because that's a really, really small wind field of hurricane force winds. I mean, look at that, goes all the way out to only 30 nautical miles. Yeah, that's not very far out from the center. So that's pretty compacted, and we'll see if that verifies, because if it does, this is going to be a pretty strong Cat 4 hurricane here with winds of about 130 plus miles an hour, and then that weakens fairly quickly. Now looking at the HAVS B, let's see what that shows, because I'm looking at these for the first time. Yeah, see, look at where it estimated that the center is, and the center is clearly over here somewhere. So it did not initialize this as well. Okay, so that's the thing, that we're still seeing some wrinkles in the forecast just a little bit, but it's showing this 986, and it doesn't get down to 975 millibars until this afternoon into the evening hours, which is well ahead of our predictions right now. I mean, this is already at 979 millibar according to the NHC, so this is deeper than what most of our hurricane models are showing right now. And so what ends up happening is, look at this. This really tightens up pretty quickly, and this makes landfall potentially over the Big Bend of Florida at a 908 millibar system. Now, I'm not going to believe that. I think this is a little bit of an outlier just because of inconsistencies, but this is a pretty large hurricane force wind field at flight level. You can see all these purple colors right here indicating that our winds are going to be really strong out of the southerly direction, and these come in wind gusts down to the surface. So even so, you're barely seeing tropical storm force winds over Florida. You could see wind gusts in excess of, say, 65 to 75 miles an hour. And keep in mind, this could remain a hurricane right in this area, according to our HAVS B. We will wait and see what our hurricane models show in the next hour once those start rendering. So, how's everybody doing? I think Cat 4 is given now. Yeah, I think so. Again, I don't like to clickbait and put Cat 4 in my thumbnail, though. I'm running a little bit ahead of the NHC, and they did say in their updates, subsequent outlooks, further adjustments upward may be needed. So that is why that when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, we might go for Cat 4 here. We could. I know it's not the official in the NHC forecast, but we got to understand that rapid intensification is still being done with a lot of research on how quick it can happen and stuff. But this is moving over some really warm upper ocean heat content waters, and that is why we are going to see some explosive intensification. I really do see that happening, unfortunately, in this live stream. So far, our buoy report has winds of 52 miles an hour right now, and wind gusts estimated of over 80 miles an hour on that system. So that is pretty formidable right now. Yeah, see, we're up to about 70 to 80 miles an hour based on this weather station right here. 52 miles an hour right now sustained. So that is a tropical storm for sure right now. No doubt at all. No doubt. And let's see what the Recon finds. Okay, yeah, so they're going to fly along the coast here of near Cozumel, Mexico. And they're going to go probably way out here and get that wind field. What's the difference between a Category 3 and Category 4 force winds? By the way, oh, I thought that was... Yeah, what's up, Keith Evans? Good morning, bud. So what's the difference between a Cat 3 and a Cat 4 hurricane force winds? The wind intensity is strong, but a 125 to 130 mile an hour difference, a 5 mile an hour difference between that and showing a complete different category is not really, it's like a blend. You blend it all together. When you get into the more serious Cat 4 winds is when you get up to about 145, 150 miles an hour. That's when you get into more serious territory. Okay, 125, 130 mile an hour winds is not going to really make a difference. This is going to be a major catastrophic, major life-threatening, potentially a catastrophic hurricane. It's already a hurricane as we speak, and we are seeing signs here that this is really trying to get better organized. You can see there is the low-level center right there. You can see all this deep convection trying to wrap all the way around, the system right now. And once that completes, I can bet you right now, this is going to really, it's gonna deepen, and the model does see that completing right now. Notice how it struggles, and then right about here, boom, right there, is when we see that process complete. And you can even see it here that the eyewall is open here. This is the 15Z initialization showing that little bit of an open eyewall. And then watch this. It really closes up by 21Z today. And it does continue to do that. And look at how intense that is. Really intense inner core structure. Very, very significant. What's up, Matt C? How are you doing? Boom! Probably came here from Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Welcome, welcome. So we have winds of 80 miles an hour. Key messages showing still, like we talked about last night's stream and in this morning's stream, is that this is going to be a pretty serious storm, okay? And it already is based on our winds. We're going to see if they find any lower pressure, because that inner core structure is trying to get better defined. In fact, if we look at our radar data right now, this may be trying to reorientate itself. Maybe trying to do that right now as we speak. And right now it looks like it is still going to the northwest. Not trying to sneeze, so that's why I'm rubbing my nose a lot. It is a breezy day, so that's probably why the allergies are a bit elevated today. But yeah, very cold cloud tops. Really cold cloud tops at the moment. Really been persisting since yesterday. This is remarkable. Literally, for the last 12 hours, we've had some really deep cold cloud tops. What's up, Jarrell? How are you doing, partner? How did you know this was going to happen 2 weeks out, but the locals didn't say a thing to us? It's just experience. You have to look at upper level conditions. You have to look at the Madden-Julian oscillation, the MJO, and I had a feeling on the 25th or the 26th we would be seeing something develop, and unfortunately, that's happening. That's reality. All right. And it goes to show you how reliable my forecasts are. I can't be 100% accurate. I try to be as accurate, but sometimes we can't get it right all the time. But I feel like I saw this coming pretty far out, and I'm glad he made a point about that. Chad said that. How did you know this was going to happen 2 weeks out? Locals didn't even say anything. So, yeah. So looking at that halves A run again, or halves B, this is what it's showing. Again, look at all that heavy rainfall. And you're in Virginia, right, TRG? So this is going to be for, let me actually bring up the NAM over that area. What part of Virginia you're in, TRG? I forgot. But yeah, you're going to get some rain if you're in westernmost Virginia. But I'm curious of what the... Yeah, see, this is a little bit more realistic here on the NAM. 906 millibars, still, the pressure-wise, still unrealistic, actually. But it's in more realm of possibility. That 910, 920 millibar range, potentially, because you can see right here it's at 952 millibars, and then it really deepens as it gets closer. Now keep in mind, this could still be a hurricane even over Georgia, and then it really gets absorbed and remains a pretty large system once it does that, once it merges up with that trough. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like my channel very much. I want to still say thank you for all the donations last night. I really do. 25 or 30% of that will go for charity and Red Cross. I need to talk to my grandma about that today, about how I can donate. Looks like we're getting new deep convection popping up right now over here, trying to wrap all the way around again. We're still seeing attempts of that happening, and we're going to see if that does continue over the next several hours. But definitely trying to show signs of that organization. That is for sure. That drier air is trying to mix out a little bit. David got to run, but thank you as always. Brother, take care. Thank you very much. Makers Max, we got a verified YouTube channel. Someone that has over 100,000 subs, I'm sure. What will we feel here in Miami? So Miami, Florida. If the halves A, darn it, the halves B doesn't barely get over there. So you're going to see some banding futures and some strong winds potentially near tropical storm force. The tropical storm force winds will be well removed though, but tropical storm force wind gusts cannot be ruled out. Maybe again, a few banding futures moving over that area. What's up, David Lee, YouTube? Yeah, this is a crazy storm by all means. This is definitely something. And in fact, if we go to our satellite imagery, yeah, we do got the visible spectral out this morning. And look at this. Look at that new blossom of deep convection right there. Now we're getting into the detailed stuff, all thanks to the realistic satellite imagery. The meso floater. I think it's going to make landfall near Crawfordville, Florida, which is in the westernmost portion of the Big Bend of Florida. That's where I think it's going to make landfall. Is Jamaica looking okay? Yes. Jamaica is no longer in a big threat anymore. Helene, hey, Helene, how are you? Wow, I noticed some YouTubers are making YouTube accounts after this. It's a waste of time in my opinion, but hey, go for it. It's your YouTube account. And you could see with what Helene is actually doing. We actually pause this, you can see that the deep convection really is building up. Especially right here, we're seeing a new burst really unfold. Look at that. And the low-level center looks like it is over here. Right over here. And the upper-level center, well-stacked. So this is a very well-stacked vortex, by all means. It's not tilted at all. That's not what we're seeing here. We're not seeing any tilted vortex. And this looks fairly robust and organized. But what we are also seeing, though, keep in mind, is we are seeing this slot of drier air. See all the lack of convection? Right in here is where we are seeing this drier air. This is what we call a moat or a dry slot. And this is getting wrapping almost all the way around the center. And that is why we are not seeing any banding futures. We're seeing banding over here, but this is separated by this dry slot. And this is going to have some short-term implications, but this should get mixed out because of the lack of shear that we're seeing. Man, this is really explosive here. Really, really explosive. Any Recon updates? Ooh, boy, yes. Let's go to Recon. Actually, we can bring that up in Radar Omega. Let me bring that up right now. Oops. Do we not have a new Recon? No, hold on. Where is our latest plane at? Oh, 11 minutes ago. There we go. Okay. So, winds have weakened a little bit. They have not found... Yeah, they have not found hurricane force winds on the northwestern side anymore. Interesting. We'll see what the pressure is like once they get out here and then they fly back in again. But that's what the latest pass had pressure down to 978.2 millibars extrapolated pressure. And I'm basing more on the extrapolated because that's closest to the NHC at the moment. But yeah, again, live analysis, hence the title, breaking, Helene becomes, I should put becomes, why did I not put becomes a hurricane, there we go. Becomes a hurricane with live analysis. So this is our live analysis partition of the stream, and we're going to be doing this like we did last night with live recon. Live recon, satellite data, and everything like this. Because this is evolving pretty quickly. Quick enough to where, well, it's up to 80 miles an hour. Which, by the way, welcome, Chase. Chase, we have an 80-mile-an-hour hurricane, and pressure is down to 978 millibars. 978 millibars. So this is strengthening pretty quickly right now. Yep, look at, we got a lightning strike. We just got a new lightning strike in that big mass right here. That's not a good sign. And actually, you know what? Is that the inner core trying to form? Is that what I'm seeing right now? Let's see. Yep, look at this. There it is. There's your eyewall trying to form. Look at that. Even on visible satellite imagery, we are beginning to see the early makings of this eyewall trying to re-close up again. It's re-attempting. We have a lightning strike already being noted on that. So, yes, this is not looking good. This is strengthening right now. And we'll see if the pressure has dropped even more. Yeah, I know, Chase. It's 80-mile-an-hour winds already, based on the hurricane hunters. This is the cone of uncertainty right now, and this is projected to impact. Well, the center is expected to move into Carabel, St. Teresa right now, and this is 125-mile-an-hour winds. Now, keep in mind, I want to make it clear with you all. Just because this is a Category 3, look at our maximum wind gusts, possibly up to 155 miles an hour. So in theory, you could still get Category 5 or 4 wind gusts with this system. Even so, this is a Cat 3 moving onshore. Okay, and keep in mind, here it's 120, here it's 125. So I think it's going to get a little stronger, probably about 130 here at landfall. Right here, 130, somewhere in this little area. Now, just because the cone of uncertainty is not over St. Pete, Sarasota, and Tampa Bay, Florida, does not mean that, oh, you're not going to see impacts. You're going to see near hurricane force winds, storm surge, and high surf with this. Okay, and this will be a Category 1 hurricane by this afternoon, which I'm not surprised given on how organized it is. Yeah, this is really a concern. Really, really a concern. And this is the current wind field, tropical storm force, and then yeah, this is tropical storm force 39 to 56, and this is 57 to 73, and this is hurricane force winds right here in red. So look at how large that wind field actually is. This is a really large, bulky system. And of course, the neat thing I can do with this is I can show you all the wind probabilities on this map. And it does show that there is a 100% chance of tropical storm force winds. Let me update this to see if we got the new update. Because maybe it's delayed. Nope, it hasn't come in yet. So when looking at the wind probability, you can see definitely on the high side. Actually, no, wait, this is the latest one. All right, this was 50 knot winds. Interesting, they have 3 different selections. And yeah, this is a hurricane warning into Georgia. Yeah, hurricane warning. Unbelievable, actually. Yeah, hurricane warning all the way inland. That is a bad situation. Bad situation, really large area. Hurricane force winds, there is already a 40 to 50% chance of that occurring. And nearly a 100% chance in this narrow corridor. So you can definitely get an idea with what we're dealing with. And did we get a new... Okay, yeah, they're headed back. Yep, they're headed back. So this recon mission's done. So we have the Air Force mission out right now. Charleston, South Carolina is under a tropical storm warning. Yes. Actually, let me take this off really quickly. Let me do this and take all these so you can see what is what. So anything here in this pink color is a hurricane warning. And in fact, let me see if I could change. right here. Okay, so that's that. And a hurricane warning is there, storm surge warning. Let me make this a little bit so you all can see that. So yeah, tropical storm warning. And a tropical storm watch even extends. I mean, come on. Tropical storm watch in Asheville, North Carolina, Hickory, North Carolina. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous on how far north this goes with the tropical storm watch. This goes way, way inland. I mean, this is a big area. Tropical storm warning is all in yellow here. This is a huge system. This is impacting a big population. Big population. And I'll tell you, especially in this red area, actually I'll use white. Especially right in here, right in about here, is where I'm really concerned for the worst impacts possible. Unsurvivable storm surge, flooding, freshwater flooding, of course, life-threatening hurricane force winds, that sort of thing. So I do have a couple of viewers that do live in these areas. Murdoch Living, I don't know if you're watching the stream. Joe 561. You're in some serious trouble, dude. You are in a life-threatening situation. You really are, and all preparations need to be rushed to completion today, if not even tomorrow morning. Let me get to some questions because I feel like I'm ignoring you guys, and I don't want to feel like I'm ignoring you guys. So, how's everybody doing? I'm in Fort Myers. TD Sports Cards is saying I'm in Fort Myers near river. 30 to 50 mile an hour winds, 4 to 6 inches of rain. My issue is storm surge, 3 to 6 feet. My flood boards are 4 feet. They started releasing like this morning. Water at sea wall now. Oh, shoot. Let's see. What's up, The Reaper? What's up, Amanda Kirby? How are you doing? David, what program are you using? Radar Omega. Radar Omega, Chase Bank. I just want to call you Chase Bank because your name is Chase. So we are beginning to see deep convection. Oh, yeah. This deep convection is already wrapping all the way around almost. Not looking good. This is evolving pretty quickly, actually. And let me turn this off. Yeah, look at the lightning strikes. We have 3 lightning strikes. So lightning activity is increasing in the inner core structure. I'm in Zone B. Is that bad? I actually don't know zones very well there for evacuation orders. That's why I highly suggest you follow your local officials. Whatever zone you're in, you can look at your evacuation. Let me see if I could pop that up on this right here. Let me see if I could do that. Evacuation zones, Florida. So there should be a know your zone map. This is interactive. It should be what we're looking for. Okay, so there are no... I don't know if I'm seeing this correctly. I don't know if there's evacuation orders out right now. And if you type in your address, you could actually... Oh, wait, this is, yeah, tropical storm zone. So these are different zones right here. Like this is zone E. And there is no evacuation order for that area right now. Let me see, though, if there is evacuation orders out. Maybe let's see if we can click on an area here. Yeah, I don't see anything with evacuation orders, but in different zones, you get evacuation routes, so make sure you follow those routes. But right now, I don't see anything that says evacuation orders are being done. But once those get issued, you need to follow those accordingly. All right. I don't want anyone staying behind. These are issued for a reason, not to take your time away from what you want to do. At the end of the day, you know, we have to save people's lives. We really do. And doing it is by sending out these evacuation orders. Okay, so there is a lot of lightning really increasing on this. This is getting a little more concerning. We have a little bit of a swirl that is starting to develop here. Look at this. Definitely a swirl and a lot of deep convection really increasing on the southwestern side of the system. This is a sign that it's definitely organizing pretty quickly. If we play this through, you can see the evolution. Watch the last few frames here. Watch this. Right about here, look at this. Lots of deep convection. Lots of deep convection right there. So this is definitely showing signs of some banding in the cirrus outflow pattern. Right here, you can definitely see that structure look. So this is beginning to show signs of more quick pace intensification. We are getting lightning strikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lightning strikes on the GSLM. So this is showing signs. And this is even popping up here. 1, 2, 3. Actually, this is not as accurate. This is more actually accurate here with lightning strikes. We don't have any buoy data near this, but I could rest assure you it's probably very intense. So let me see now with where we are at on Doppler radar, though. Because that's the thing. If this is beginning to show signs... Oh, yeah, look at this. This is where the center probably is where I'm estimating it, is probably right about in here. This is all that dry slot. So this is beginning to show signs. You can even see in here signs of that eyewall structure redeveloping again. Right in here is where we're seeing that, and that matches really well with our visible satellite imagery. I know these radar images are not the best. This is basically, instead of going to a different website and looking at this is a blend of latest radar data that windy.com. By the way, windy.com is right up here on the top of the screen. You can go check it out. But if you want to view radar data, there is a premium version. It's not free. So we're going to see what happens to this, but it definitely looks like it is really showing signs. In fact, you know what? Let me see here how cold these cloud tops are. Yeah, we're negative 120 degrees right now. So those are notably cold. And looking at the IR, let's see what the IR is showing. Surely they have cooled down, warmed up just a little bit. Just a little bit. But look at the last few frames here. Watch this. Right there, somewhere in here is where that center actually is. So that's where we're seeing that deep convective canopy. So in real time, this is showing that vigorous sign, probably mixing out that drier air nicely. Thank you so much, Tampa B-Man. I do appreciate it. If you guys are liking the live stream, liking the live data, the live information that we are providing you, please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys are new. We are literally 300 subscribers away from 29,000. I want to thank you guys for showing the support last night's stream. So if you guys are new, subscribe, share, and like. We need to get this stream up to 1,000 likes, so hit the like button if you haven't already. Because this is definitely showing signs, and we are providing the very latest information. Recon data, satellite data, and much more in the video live stream. We will get a new update on our Recon in a second. We're waiting for that to come in, and they are on their way in. They're on their way in. Let me see if they're actually going to send another Recon out there in a little bit. They're doing 3 hourly fixes, so I'm sure they're going to send another plane out there. Let's see. Let's see what we got. All right, we do have another. So another, into John. So they're not going to fly into John, because John already made landfall. So this is today's plan of day. And this is as of yesterday. So we're going to need to wait for their latest plan of day on what they are planning to do. But this is what it's showing right now. The center is probably somewhere over here right now. It's probably moved over here, so moving more generally to the north right now, even to the north-northwest. David, they found hurricane force winds. Just now? Just now. I just got a new update. They did not find hurricane force winds in their current pass at the moment. They did find hurricane force winds. Severe Weather Center, I am aware of that. That's why this is a hurricane. So there's your hurricane force winds in purple. These purple wind barbs are 64 knots or greater flight level wind data. This is flight level winds and not surface frequency microwave radiometer winds at all. Okay. Yeah, I'm in California, so it's 9:20 in the morning over here. David, look at tropical tidbits. Yeah, okay. I'm aware of that. I'm aware. Yes, 70, that's... This is as of the 12 Zulu time. This is not current. This is not current. We're already at 70 knots. That's 80 miles an hour. Severe Weather Center. I don't see where you're seeing. I know this is a hurricane already. Oh man, we got a new buoy report. 63 mile an hour winds have been reported, and wind gusts already estimated up to 85 miles an hour. 85 miles an hour right here. So there is definitely strong tropical storm force winds. Already, we're getting reports of that right now on that weather buoy. And this is the latest update. You can see those winds really, really popping up very quickly. Look at that. 63 mile an hour winds, and pressure is down at 2932, which is, let's see, 29.31 at least, roughly. That's 992 millibars. So that is very tight gradient on this. Very tight. That wind field is increasing intensity. Based on that buoy report, I'm getting a report there of 63 miles an hour right now. Thank you so much. Oh, you're writing me as in president? I don't want to be a president, honestly. I don't have the desire to. Actually, they did find pressure a little lower earlier. 928. It's coming up a little bit. That's because the system's moving away from the location. But yeah, look how strong that is on that little weather buoy. That ship buoy. Ship. Huh. I don't want to sound like I'm cussing over here. And there's the new cloud tops. Look at that. Negative 122 degrees Fahrenheit. But we're going to see the next pass will bring them in probably to the inner core. And once we get that data, we will bring it to you live. And we will have to do another type up of their fourth pass. Yes, I'm taking note of their mission number, the time that they're in the storm. So they'll be in there through 17Z. So they'll be in there. This will be their last. Wait, hold on. Done. So done. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, so they'll be done with this system by about 10 o'clock or so my time. So this is their last pass. This is their last pass. So we'll see with what they find before a new recon mission gets underway. That's a lot of deep convection, though. That's a lot of deep convection. Southern to central Georgia will see Cat 1. Yeah, there is drier air, again, wrapping around the system. That's going to be the factor in all of this. But it looks like, though, it's going to slowly mix that out because the system's going this way and there's not much shear. So all this drier air is actually not being shoved into the system at the moment. Lava Command, this is already strengthening. It's already a hurricane with 80 mile an hour winds. What is Panama City Beach going to see? So Panama City Beach. Do you think the aftermath will be bad? So Panama City Beach, you're going to get more offshore wind. You could get near tropical storm force winds and heavy rainfall wrapping all the way around. You are under a tropical storm warning. But to be quite honest, you're not in a hurricane warning right now at the moment. Yeah, see Panama City Beach, Summit, you're down there too. You're going to see offshore flow. Okay, that's the expectation here. So the storm surge is not going to really be a big factor. Now, storm surge might be an issue, like, say, right here along the northern coasts of some of these forebays, these estuaries. Might see that enhanced storm surge of maybe about a foot to maybe a couple of feet at least. Maybe a little higher than that. But nothing like, say, the Big Bend, where up to maybe 18 feet of storm surge is possible. Yeah, Panama City Beach is on the clean side with not much tornado chances there, so that's the good news. But still going to get some impacts. You're under a tropical storm warning. The cone has been moving slightly to the west. Yeah, just slightly. So right now, if we look at the cone of uncertainty, So if we look at the cone of uncertainty right now, over Carabel, St. Mark's going to get the worst storm surge because you're immediately on the eastern side of that system. So storm surge is going to be really bad. But this is where the center is going to be moving over Quincy. Keep in mind, this will be a hurricane as it moves into Georgia. Even so, this is only showing a 60. You can imagine 70 here, 75, 85. Still a hurricane in southwestern Georgia. Yeah, it's going to be a big storm. This is definitely a big storm. In fact, you're already getting some very outer bands over Fort Lauderdale. David Schlauer, Atlanta, Georgia, which is so far away from the coast, is under a tropical storm watch. That's a first. Yeah, I know. Severe Weather Center. How Winter Park looking? Winter Park? Let's go to Winter Park. So Winter Park, Florida. You're certainly going to get tropical-like winds. That's why there's a tropical storm warning issued. You're going to see winds of about 35 to 40 miles an hour with wind gusts potentially up to hurricane force. So anywhere in the, if you're under a tropical storm warning, you're going to see tropical storm conditions. All right, I have to relay that information based on what the definition is. A tropical storm warning means tropical storm conditions are expected. Okay, even in Fort Lauderdale, some tropical storm force gusts, maybe near hurricane force gusts in Ocala, which, by the way, Ocala, right over here, is under a hurricane warning, portions of it. So that's definitely telling you that this is going to be a really big deal. Really big deal. How bad will Port St. Joe get? Let's see. Port St. Joe. Port St. Joe. So Port St. Joe is going to get some pretty ferocious offshore flow, more stronger than, say, Panama City Beach. So I would say you could get some storm surge, Storm surge anywhere between, say, 3 to 4 feet, perhaps, is what I'm forecasting, especially if you are down in here, the southern coast here of this little forebay could get with that northerly flow piling up all the water right here. So yes, storm surge is a possible in that area. Justin, hey brother Justin, how are you doing? All right, sorry about that. Okay, so what's up, Mr. Papa? Sorry, I'm trying to get to a lot of people at once. Hey Justin, if you're here, say hello. If you want to, do you think you can join this stream? I would like to hear your thoughts on this system, on what it's doing. Do you think this could become a major hurricane, even a Cat 4 hurricane? I want to hear your thoughts. Do you have a link to the Cuban radar? Let me see. Cuban radar. It's out. The website is down. I can't pop it up. It's not working. It's actually down. I can send it. All right. Yeah, send it to me, please. Because it's not working on my end. Let's see here. By the way, if you guys are new, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are almost up to 28.8 thousand. It's not loading on here either. It's not loading. It's not working for some reason. So, but this is definitely strengthening. This is a strengthening hurricane. Yeah, it's not working for some reason. But yeah, this is very robust. This is definitely a robust system. Thank you so much, Chase. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. David, check DMs again. Sent a loop. So there is the loop. Yeah, so that's what it's looking like right now. So what are your thoughts on this, Justin? Based on what we're seeing, do you think this is getting better organized? Is it actually showing signs that this is going to become, it's going to rapidly intensify even further? I want to hear your thoughts. The storm is the wide tropical storm force winds go over 100 miles out from the center. Cuba radar shows the eyewall closed. Interesting. Interesting on that. I will check Cuba radar in a second. 12Z halves B is now initializing. Justin, you there? So this is what it's looking like. So there are signs it's already, let me do Cuba radars. Cuba should work because that's, oh, that's what where I just was. Never mind. But you know what? We have this. This gives us kind of an idea what we're seeing right now. It's certainly trying. There is a prominent dry air slot, which is making it difficult to close off the south eyewall. Yeah. Radar still shows it open, but starting to close off now. That dry air decreases. So yeah, we're gonna get a new recon mission in there, or recon pass momentarily, and once that happens, we will bring you the information. But wow. That is really, really organized. That is definitely trying. It's trying. The fact it's trying is not a good thing at all. Because once that dry air gets cut off from the inflow and it mixes it out, we are going to have a big problem. A big, big problem. Once the south eyewall closes off, we are easily looking at RI. This storm is also incredibly large, 90th percentile of size in the Gulf, which will increase effects across the region. Yeah, Justin, as far as it goes with storm surge, I am predicting up to 18 feet of storm surge over the Big Bend of Florida. 18 feet of storm surge with 130 mile an hour winds at landfall. Main strengthening should be after 8 p.m. Eastern. Well, it might happen sooner though. After 8 p.m. Eastern, we still have a long way to go until that happens. Any chance it wobbles east, it's not even in the Gulf. There's still that possibility, yes. Man, this has not updated yet. Is this actually... Oh, and they are getting the center. Man, they missed. They missed those winds. Darn it, we did not get... We're not able to see if there's hurricane force winds there. Pressure has not dropped, though. What the heck? Wow. This center actually made a hard left. It really made a hard left turn already. Based on the recon data. That is incredible. The pressure did not drop as much. Well, not yet at least. We'll see if that changes. They need to get another little piece of that pass before we can say for sure if they found pressures lower. And Justin, I'm really surprised that the pressure has not dropped much. Oh yeah, look at now. This is really clear now. This definitely is very clear. A full new update on all the radar sites do indicate that is definitely beginning to close off. This needs to wrap all the way around though to close off that eyewall-like structure. Good. Keep turning to the left. No, it's not going to last for very long. It's going to go north. Rather anybody likes it or not, it's going to go north. So our halves models are coming in right now. So let's look at our halves A model. So our halves A is coming in as we speak. And let's see if this is actually stronger. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Definitely stronger. Definitely stronger on this run. A little weaker than the 0Z run though, but it will be important to see on how this actually plays out. But I think this is really going to start deepening once it gets past and we actually don't get disrupted inflow. That might be one of the reasons why too. By the way, if you guys are liking the stream, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell notification to get more of my updates. So this is a look at the latest halves A. It is coming in right now in real time. We are seeing as you're seeing it like we did last night. And we will see if this has uptrended. Let's see the GFS though on what it is showing. What it is forecasting. So let's go over to that. 957 at landfall is still expected. On the Canadian model, let's see what that's showing. A little stronger on that run. Let's see with what the icon is showing. Wow, icon. Jeez. Icon going a little more aggressive at 940 millibars at landfall. That is definitely that's a major hurricane. For sure a major hurricane. Over the Big Bend of Florida as that moves onshore. Definitely a major hurricane. But now, most importantly of all time, will be our halves group that is coming in. So this is rendering in real time. We got live recon data out there right now. This is the latest, and we will see if the pressure has fallen anymore. Okay, I highly doubt that though. I think the pressure has come up a little bit, but that will drop immediately once that inner core really forms and closes off. But yeah, all these hurricane warnings up here, pretty concerned. Oops, let me zoom out. Sorry about that. So all these hurricane warnings up here, also including tropical storm warnings, just take note. And this is for you, Justin. Take note how far these go to the north. I mean, wow, all the way into Tennessee, we have tropical storm watches. Unbelievable. This is how big this system actually is. It's not just going to be big with intensity, it's going to be big with size too. So this storm is massive, and I'm not liking what the halves A is showing. Specifically, it wants winds, flight level winds at 92 knots this afternoon. Well, size in this case does matter a whole lot, because if this is going to be really big as what most of the forecasters are saying, the impacts will spread well away from the center. Where is it making landfall? So let me go to the NAM. Oh, well, let's look at the NAM. I don't highly recommend looking at that, but it's our only high-res model that we could probably get an early estimate. I'm using it for track, not for intensity right now. So the NAM is going to be making landfall. Actually, this is pretty realistic on the NAM 3 kilometer. Not actually a bad thing at all. Right where the NHC wants this, perhaps. Near where the NHC has it. And it does make landfall near Crawfordville. Carabel is right here. Again, offshore flow on this run, showing us winds of about 110, 115 miles an hour. But again, the NAM is not a hurricane model. And this is probably a little on the lower end side of those winds, but still showing wind gusts or sustained winds of about hurricane force. Yeah, hurricane force winds perhaps over Georgia. Wow. And actually, if we go up even just a little bit, up to 1,000 feet, you can see winds do get stronger. Let's see what the HRRR is showing. I don't even want to look at the HRRR because it's terrible. Terrible HRRR. Looks like the Euro and the NAM and the hurricane models are really well in line. The GFS a little bit to the east still, though, on this run. Oh, they picked up 85 knots. Someone just said 85 knot wind reading. You're kidding me. You're absolutely kidding me right now. Let me see. Yeah, data's missing. We don't have any data to confirm that. Well, they peaked at 85 knots earlier. That's probably what you're referring to. You're probably referring to this data right in here somewhere where there was 80 knot, 85 knot wind. But we're going to wait for another recon update. It should come in really soon. Thank you, Christy, for the $50 donation. I do appreciate that very much. You are a very gifted weather enthusiast, David. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. I do appreciate the $50 donation, and I do appreciate all of the donations I got last night. Incredible. I want to say thank you all for that. And again, at least 25% of that will be going to the Red Cross after this hurricane makes landfall because of, maybe I'll do it before. I need to work that out with my grandma because of how this evolves. Because I don't know if there's a long process of getting that all set up and stuff. What's up, Johnny Westbrook? How are you doing? Thank you, David, for helping out the people in the morning stream. Of course, I am happy to do it. And we will be live here until about 11 o'clock. Probably until this last mission. Maybe a little longer than that because guess what? I have a little surprise for you all. Guess what came in the mail? Thank you so much, Mr. Papa. I love you guys too. Guess what came in the mail? And a lot of you are probably going to get this all right. I like guessing games. That's my favorite thing. Guessing games, trivias and stuff. Yes. Hi, David. Chance may shift west. Any wobbles? There's a chance this could still shift west. Yes, Scott. Censorship? No. I'm not doing a 48-hour stream. No, I'm going to hurt my brain by doing that. Look what came. The new iPhone. It's in the box. I need to take it to AT&T. They have to open it up. But I got the iPhone. don't know if my camera can focus in on that. I don't think it can. But it's the iPhone 16 Pro Max. The newest iPhone. And you know what? What should I name it? I'm going to name my iPhone. What should I name it? Maybe I'll name it Chase. I'll give it a name. I already gave it a name. iPhone 16 Pro Max, Johnny. I got the 1 terabyte memory. 1 terabyte memory on it. So I got some serious memory available. And it has Apple Artificial Intelligence. Name it Helene? Actually, that's not bad. But you know what? All right, let's do a vote. Let's do this. So, what should I name my iPhone 16 Pro Max? I'm going to put a few answers. Helene, Chase. Can I add another option? Okay, good. I can. Let's see who else. Cassie D. I'll put Cassie D. And one more. Actually, I could put a couple more. Let's see. Justin G. I will put. And that is all. So there's the vote. What should I name my iPhone 16 Pro Max? There are the list of names. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. People say Helene. People say Helene already. I'm almost gonna head off Lava Command. So unfortunately not this time. Maybe tonight though. Maybe tonight though. Because I'll be live tonight at 8 o'clock. But I want to see what these hurricane models will show though. Let's go forward. Wow. Oh my goodness. The HAVS A model. Woo! The HAVS A model is on drugs on this run. Look at this. It thinks by tonight this thing is a major hurricane. Category 4 Hurricane Helene by tonight. Seriously. Wait, there's a shock wave? Where? Where's there a shock wave? Whoa. That's not good. Where do you see a shock wave? Southwest side of Helene. I don't see it. I don't see where you see the shock wave. I don't. Southwest side of Helene, you said there's a shock wave. I don't see anything. Yes, Lava Command, I'm aware of that. DMs if you want to. Let's see. You're still not. That's outflow. That's what that is, TRG. That's outflow. That's 100 millibar outflow. That's really high up into the atmosphere, and we're seeing, that's what we're seeing. It's the outflow from the system. So that's very high up. That's not even at, say, 300 millibars. So that's why you're seeing that shock wave. Yeah, you freaked me out for a second, like, whoa, a shock wave, what the heck? But yeah, TRG, there's big trouble brewing with this system. Based on the halves model, showing a 946 millibar. 946 millibar. What's the winds at right now? Being held at 80 miles an hour for right now. They're being held at 80 miles an hour. And this inner core is getting really close of closing. Really close. I'm telling you right now. Not far from doing that. Not far at all. Probably in the next 3 to 6 hours, maybe sooner, we will see that inner core structure close completely. I think the halves A is right, to be honest. And if it's right, who knows how strong this could actually get. So looking at this in real time, frame 121 that we're at. We're going to wait for this to render all the way through until landfall. Said valid, said peak surface frequency microwave radiometer winds. Yes, 74 knots. That's from earlier. And look at that inner core structure. This actually closes up. And look at it, does simulate that dry slot really well right now. You can see all this drier air. It does pretty good at simulating that, which is scary. Because even with that, look at it, really goes away. That dry slot really evaporates and mixes out. And so by tonight, it's gone. There's no dry slot. No dry slot at all. So this is alarming. This is scary. This is scary. I only imagine on how strong this is going to get. By the way, if you haven't voted yet and subscribed, please subscribe. We're almost up to 500 likes, folks. Come on, hit that like button if you haven't already. This is real-time analysis and model data coming in. The halves B is beginning to render right now. And let's see where the halves B. Oh, halves B is ahead of the game. 939. Wait, no, 930 millibars. Wow, 930, way weaker than the last run, but still in par with our. Not as strong as the last run, but still showing a strong Category 4 hurricane on the halves B forecast. And this, let's see the halves A again. I think the halves A sees it a little bit better, though. I still think so. Because of the way it initialized it, I think it has a bit better handle. And way more realistic, too. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Halves A may be onto something. Come on, render. We need to get more frames. The halves A should not be taking this long. Hey, David, my cat Venture is watching you. Oh, nice, Johnny. Nice. Why are they so unreliable? Well, because of minute changes to the atmosphere. A model is a forecast and it's guidance, okay? This gives us a simulated look at what things might look like into the future, okay? And what we see here is a system that is strengthening. Nice inner core structure here. This is by Thursday morning. This would be a Category 4 hurricane. Definitely a Category 4. And this is slower, by the way. This is a slower run. So it looks like now Thursday night, this might make landfall. So in other words, we have a day and a half left on this. Let's see. Yeah, Havze is at 922 millibars. Man, that's a very intense inner core structure. Very heavy rainfall on that. So Havze B is more accurate. Yeah, I actually Havze B may be doing a little bit better. Actually, you're right, TRG. But if this comes to pass, that's a Category 4 hurricane. That's a Category 4. All right. So looks like I'm naming my phone Helene. I'm naming it Helene. No, Neo Music. It's not the iPhone 15 Pro Max. It's the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Buddy! New Recon data out. Let's see what it shows. Yeah. Wind field is a little bit more compact versus the last pass or versus the first pass or the northeastern eyewall. So yeah, this is strengthening a little bit more. Definitely that wind field is really... It's trying to wrap up. It's what it's trying to do right now. Okay, Havze A needs to get itself rolling along. Come on, Havze A. Come on, Havze A. You got this. Let's see the HMON. HMON, wow, way more aggressive. Wants is down in 930 millibars with 130 mile an hour winds. Maybe even 135 mile an hour winds. Wow. This is unrealistic though because the pressure is... Yeah. It's unrealistic. Come on, we just need those last couple of frames. We need those last couple of frames. I'm worried for my PS5 that I left at my grandma's house. Oh boy. Mike. My favorite model, HMON, started off too strong, 967 millibars in less than an hour. Lava Command is saying the eyewall is closed. Oh, man, I wish the Cuban radar would work for me. Cuban radar. You know what? I'm going to see if I could do this on a different search engine to see if it will work. I need to see this. This is the old man's style over here to the old technology. Not really old technology, but like we have to use. Let me see it on my phone. If I can bring up the Cuban radar and show you guys that way. I'm going to try to hack the system. Not hack it literally, but... Okay, it worked. It's working. Interesting. My firewall is blocking the website. I think the firewall is not letting me access it, which is dumb. Oh, shoot. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is happening pretty quickly. Look at that. Can you guys see that? Come on, don't. That's definitely getting close. Definitely getting close. So yeah. It is really it's on the verge. It is on the verge. It looks very more swirly too. Look at the swirl pattern. You can tell by the swirl pattern, it looks more like a cinnamon roll. You can kind of get an idea than it did look like this morning. See, it looked more kind of blobby-ish. Now it looks more kind of like, oh, we actually got the circulation in the mid-levels is strengthening and in the upper levels too. So that means it is strengthening. It's definitely going bonkers right now. So, okay, this makes landfall at 921 millibars, 920, with winds nearing Category 5 force. On this run, 137 knots, 142 knots. That's a Category 4 and 5 intensity on that run in particular. This shows even the same thing, near Category 5 force winds at landfall on the HAVS-B. HMON, let's see the HMON model. Yeah, see, HMON very aggressive. We're HWRF also coming out right now. Let's see what that shows. All the models are aggressive today. All of the models. Yeah, this is the most aggressive run. All of them. The 12Z input. The 12Z input really aggressive. HWRF is about to be bad. Why do you say that, TRG? I know it's bad, but like, what makes you think? Because the way you said that, about to be bad. They are completely stacked, Eric. They are completely stacked. Be sure to subscribe, share, and like, folks. All right, if you guys are new to the stream, you like the analysis, you like the detail, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. You guys are really awesome, and we are going to be live streaming on this. And I will be doing a shorts video if necessary this afternoon, if I have my new iPhone working at the time. I do have to go to AT&T though. So once this run is done, I actually have to leave and go to AT&T so they could activate the phone. And so I have my new phone. And I'm hoping that shouldn't take too long. Thank you for subscribing. Which, by the way, tomorrow I will be live all day on this. Probably 12 hours prior to landfall, we will be streaming live. 939 millibars in 16 hours is just crazy. Yes, it is. This launches off much later as well. This is definitely running slower. Is the vortex, I said, it's stacked. It's already stacked. Yeah, this is very organized. This is definitely organizing at a really quick pace. But that wind field really blows up. It really blows up. Is it going west or east? It trended west this run. It's further west. And it's also a little slower too. It's a little further west and slower. Okay, 936 millibars. Wow. And this is a Category 4 hurricane, almost a Category 4 hurricane on this one. Oh, new frame came in. 928 millibars. Wow. 928 and winds Category 4 force. So every model has this at a Category 4 again. Dang, that really does drop. That is really low. So this is, we got all of our runs in. And let me show you. Let me add in 4 of these. So HMON, let's go to the HMON in the same time frame. Halves A in the same time frame. Halves B in the same time frame. Every model at this point has this at a Category 4. Every model. Literally, actually, the spread is only like 5 knots. That's scary. 5 knot difference between these runs. TRG. 122 knots on the H-Wharf. 127 knots on the HMON. 127 knots on the Halves A. 123 knots on the Halves B. At the exact same forecast point. Exactly the same forecast point. So that really worries me. That's a sign. That's a bad sign. Yes, they are, TRG. Convert it. 115 knots or greater is a category 4. It's a category 4 with 115 knots or greater. That's 130 plus miles an hour. All 4 of the runs, all 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we'll see what the next few frames show. I'm only up to hour 30. Only up to hour 30. In fact, specifically, TRG, if this pans out the way this is showing, by Thursday morning, this would be a Category 3 hurricane, but some models show that even earlier, like the HAVS or the HMON has this at a major hurricane by late tonight. Yes, so late tonight or early tomorrow morning, this is a Cat 4 or Cat 3 plus hurricane. I hate the coughing that I'm dealing with right now. I'm not sick, it's just nasal drip. Wow, they got close to finding hurricane force winds in this moat region. Near hurricane force winds right there at flight level. That was 60 knots. Very close, man. That's 4 knots short of that on that northeastern side, which, by the way, that did strengthen a lot. The first northeastern pass was only at about 50 knots. That has strengthened a little bit. All right, we got new deep convection firing up right here on the western side. On the western side of the system, we have deep convection firing up. And it looks like an eye may be trying to, in the early stages of forming. In the early stages. Come on, we need new frames. Oh, 33 frames. 922. TRG 922. Oh my gosh, are you serious, TRG? People on Twitter are saying this, folks. People are starting to say that this dry air will keep it from strengthening. Oh gosh. It's been strengthening already, and this makes landfall. TRG, 918 millibars. Well, it could get a little deeper, but 918, 915 millibars. With peak winds of about 130 knots. That's a high-end Cat 4 on this model run. Shoot. Man, all of these models are aggressive, except for the HMON. Except for the HMON. Yeah, so HWRF, Cat 4, high-end Cat 4, HMON, low to mid-grade Cat 4, HAVS A, high-end Cat 4, HAVS B, high-end Cat 4, potentially a Category 5 hurricane. More specifically, actually, the HAVS A specifically shows a Cat 5 hurricane at landfall. So, yeah, pretty aggressive. Really aggressive. All right, so with that being said, we now know we got the new data in. You guys can give me a round of applause because we provided that in this live stream. And when we look at the satellite imagery before I head off, there is signs, okay, that there may be an early formation of an eye wall or an eye forming right about in here is where I think the eye is going to be. Right there is where I see the center based on what the convective nature is. based on Cuban radar as well, this is definitely organizing. This is, if I can see the center easily than ever, that's a problem. That means this is definitely strengthening. And this is a really big concern. This is not good at all. All right, so otherwise, I'm going to head off because I need to go get this activated. Okay, and then I have open house tonight. So I will be live tonight though. I'm going to see if I can be live by 8:15 or 8:30 tonight. We're going to be looking over the models once again. We're going to be looking at the National Hurricane Center yet again, just like we did last night. It's going to be about a 3 to 4 hour live stream like we did last night. But anyways, folks, if you did enjoy the live coverage, live analysis on Hurricane Helene, please, well, not really enjoyed because it's not fun, but if you found this very helpful, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, we are literally 10 subs away from 28.8 thousand subscribers. So if you guys haven't subscribed yet, you like the detail, you enjoy the information, please subscribe, hit the like button, and share this live stream with your family and friends on social media. As always, have a great rest of your afternoon. I will be back tonight with another live stream on this, with a shorts video. I don't want to forget that. Shorts video possible once we get the new advisory out, if I can get this phone activated in the nick of time. But otherwise, see you guys back here tonight.